With his story, Home Away from Home, please welcome to the mass stage, Davontay Stevens.
All right, so for those who don't know who I am, I'm Davontay Stevens. As she said, I'm a senior at SMSU, and I'm majoring in sports management and recreation. And I'm also a member of the SMSU football team. So I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida, so I know a lot of y'all might look at me crazy and be like, out of all places, why Marshall, Minnesota? And sometimes I question myself. So, but my mom also, she always questions, like, out of all places in between, why Minnesota? Because she just wishes that I was closer to home where she can visit me a lot. So, if you've never been to Jacksonville, so Jacksonville's a very large city. It's like one of the largest cities per landmass in the United States. It has over 1 million in population. So some people think that I'm crazy for leaving the sunny weather to come up here to the tundra. And some days in the winter when it's really windy, I think I'm crazy too. So growing up, I always loved football, and football has always been a part of my life. And if you really know me, you can probably say that football is my life. As you can see now, every time I step on the field, ever since my 4th grade, I've always been the shortest on the field. And usually I still am still the shortest on the field. But that gave me courage, and now football has given me courage to actually leave Jacksonville to pursue a college degree and continue to play the sport that I love. Before coming to Minnesota, I was very excited and nervous at the same time because I've never been far away from my family, and probably just as nervous as I am talking to you guys right now. But thankfully, I was blessed enough to have 2 high school friends, go by the name of Daryl Thomas and Jonathan Cross, to come up here with me. So it made it a little bit easier because I knew that I wasn't going through it alone. So I mean, at times you got discouraged because you miss your family, but when you have friends that can relate to you, it becomes a little easier. Shortly after I enrolled at SMSU, I ended up getting a job at the YMCA. So it's probably what most of you or some of you probably know me from if you're not on the SMSU campus. So when I first got a job at the YMCA, I didn't really think too much of it. Like I said earlier, I'm a recreation and sports management major. So I just thought maybe I'll get a job to gain experience in my field, or just see what it's like, see if this is really for me. Then at first I was like, yeah, it's okay. But after working there for like 2 months, I started to get like acclimated with like the system and starting to know people in the community by name and face. So people would walk in, just greet me, "Hey Davontay," and I could first name basis, look at their face, and sometimes check them in before they even get to the counter. But then, like before I came to Minnesota, I never heard of like Minnesota Nice or knew what Minnesota Nice meant, but working at the Y now I know what Minnesota Nice means. Yeah, like I said, I started to learn people by faces and connecting them with the Marshall community, SMSU, and athletic events. So, like I said, the people of the community is probably the definition of Minnesota Nice. Because in Florida, I've never been greeted with so many smiles and nice people. I'm not saying that Florida doesn't have nice people, but sometimes you don't get all those warm, welcoming smiles. And probably, I think the heat does that to people sometimes. and can get them agitated. Also, when I started working at the YMCA, I found a love for kids. Now I love working with kids. And if you knew me 10 years ago, you'll probably never thought that I loved working with kids, because my grandma, out of all of us, she had 7 kids and 32 grandkids. So growing up, I was pretty aggravated with my younger cousins, so I never thought I loved kids either. Since working at the Y, I developed relationships with a lot of people in the community, and they treat me as their family as well. This made it a little easier to be away from home, because in the community, I didn't feel like I was away from home, because everybody was nice and welcoming. And I feel like I could call some people my family. Like I have several moms, like Marshall moms or Marshall grandparents that's away from home. So in Jacksonville, I grew up in a neighborhood where people were simply just united by geography. I mean, it's a much larger city, so you don't really get the community feel because it's a fast lifestyle. And when you first live in a big city and you go to a smaller city, you don't really think about that because you're used to that fast lifestyle. It's like, oh, now I'm going to Marshall. There's nothing to do here. And I mean, that is true to a certain extent. I guess it depends on what you like to do instead of saying there's nothing to do. But I'll be honest. Marshall gave me the opportunity to learn what a community is and what it feels like to be part of the community, and not just being in a neighborhood. In the community, people are united by common goals. They share activities, groups, and events that give everyone a sense of belonging. And in the Marsh community, I feel like I'm home, away from home. Thank you.